I see you haven't got all the gremlins out of your system yet.
I still blame you.
You should blame me. It's fantastic.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Fan Service, the
Or good morning.
League of... well, yeah, you might be morning where you're watching.
Yeah.
Or you could be in the eternal night like in Alaska. So whatever time it is, welcome to Fan Service, the Diabolical League of Awesome's weekly geek talk show. I am your host, Stone, the Daring Adventurer, and unfortunately I'm saddled with Pyro.
Because there's no one else.
Yeah, we kind of had some mix-up in our transportation issues today. We're hoping to get those
reversed
resolved.
Somebody inside out. We had to put him back up there.
Yeah, it's never fun when someone gets turned inside out because they leave such a mess, and you would not believe the stench that comes from inside of your body.
And they sometimes explode. The explosion's the fun part.
It's fun, but I'm just glad we don't have to pick it up because that's what Vlad is for.
Yay!
Yay, Vlad! So we start each week with, fun Geek Week news and things that are going on. So we have quite a few fun news stories to talk about today because, we weren't here last week. We totally took the week off for reasons that shall remain undisclosed at this point in time. But we took the week off and things happened.
It's not my fault.
For once, it wasn't his fault. So, to get caught up on some news, we're going to start with one of Pyro's favorite things, Ghostbusters.
Yeah!
Ghostbusters 3 is officially going forward.
Finally!
Without Bill Murray.
Ah!
That was the whole thing holding the Ghostbusters sequel up was Bill Murray. That's why they did the video game, which ended up being Ghostbusters 3.
That video game was fun, though.
It was really fun, but he hated it. That's why they ended up doing the video game instead. I mean, he has just been so negative, but I hear that's just kind of the way Bill Murray is, that he just decided, they just said, screw it, we're going to do it without you. Bye.
Ghostbusters 3!
So what do you think about that? Can they do it without Bill Murray?
I'm excited, but I'm worried. But I'm excited and I'm worried, and it's not Bill Murray.
Well, the idea is that they're going to be handing off to future Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I know they're handing off to a new generation of people. So
you really don't need them.
But it's Bill Murray.
I like the idea they had where he was dead and it was a ghost. I really hope they do that. Just, digitally make him some ugly freaking Ghostbuster ghost.
But he has to sign off on that since it's
No,
his
he doesn't.
image.
They could totally make it look however they want because they own the character Peter Venkman. He doesn't. They do.
Oh, yeah.
And the ghosts in Ghostbusters don't really look like anybody.
You have a point there.
So they could probably totally pull it off. So, yes.
I don't know. Sometimes Slimer looks like you.
Don't even go there.
I already went there.
Don't even go there.
I already went there.
Someone's going to have to hitch a ride back to the moon because he ain't coming back with me.
It's all right. I got a time machine.
What's a time machine going to do to get you back to the moon? Okay, for those who don't know,
it
we
can travel
exist on the moon. We come down here to do a show. And so this fool thinks he's going to get a time travel.
It can travel through space and time.
It's not a spaceship. It's a time travel. It just goes through time, not space.
It can go through space. I modified it.
You think you're Doctor Who? No, sir, you're
not.
not.
I just stuffed a giant rocket to it.
So, moving on from
Ghostbusters,
cool. Some more movie news that completely baffles us. They're turning The Hobbit into a trilogy. I know. I had enough of a problem when they said it was going to be 2 movies. Okay, that movie fits in 90 minutes as a cartoon. How are you going to fit it into 9 hours? There's not a lot that happens in that book.
I have it. They're going to be walking.
Well, that's all they did in the first 3 movies is walked. I like Lord of the Rings, but let's face it, a lot of nothing happens.
And that's what they call fillers.
That's what they call walking.
It was just, wow. It was, a trilogy of The Hobbit. Can you believe that? How and why on earth would you want to turn that into 3 movies? Why couldn't they just make it into 1? It would make perfect sense as just 1.
More movies.
No,
More money.
More money.
More movies.
So keeping up with our happy He-Man movie news, He-Man movie. Not the crappy 80s version at all, no. And not the crappy, he's a human marine who gets sucked to Eternia to fight Skeletor who's trying to destroy magic. None of this crap. An actual real He-Man movie done by the guy who's doing
You
G.I.
must
Joe
be
Retaliation.
so happy.
As long as I keep it on Eternia, I am fine.
Watch, you're going to go to Paris.
That's what they're doing for Smurfs 2. Don't even get me started on that. I didn't mind the first Smurf movie. Kind of liked it. I do own it. But I was excited thinking, okay, they're back in Smurf world. The second movie is going to be entirely in the Smurf world. No, they're coming back to our time in Paris. Like, they need Doogie Howser in even more movies. Are you kidding me? The only redeeming factor of the Smurfs 2 is Vanity Smurf is one of the main characters, who happens to be my favorite one because he is the stupidest Smurf ever. So that'll be my only redeeming factor for Smurfs 2. But He-Man, as a live-action movie, I think can be done completely awesomely if handled correctly. This is either going to be
Skeletor blue.
This is either going to be epic good or epic bad.
What about epic bad but good because
No.
it's so bad?
When it comes to He-Man, that's not going to happen.
It's either one or the other.
The 80s one, that was epic bad. I mean, they got Skeletor pretty much right, but the rest of it, wrong. Wrong. And then they did the stupid thing in the 80s where they always come to the Earth, like the Garbage Pail Kids movie. What a train wreck that was, you know?
I've never seen it. I'm kind of glad I haven't.
Oh, man. So, all right. Continuing movie news. We got a really movie news heavy thing. You ready for this one? Are y'all ready for this one? American Pie 5. Can anyone, what are they going to do, like American Pie in the retirement home? They've already gone through high school, college, marriage, reunion. What's left? Death? Are they all going to die and have like sexy escapades as ghosts?
No, I'm glad could have their generation of kids trying to go through the high school now.
It's
Yeah, it's
that
probably
would
gonna be
an
like a
entirely
reboot.
different movie. See, every generation has a movie like that. Mine was American Pie. Yours was,
Fuck if I know.
I don't know. Now they have Project X. You know, they had Porky, stuff like that. Why do they continue to feel the need to make American Pie 5? The last two movies were not that good. Like, I watched American Reunion and didn't even remember I watched it at the end of the day.
Yeah, you told me the next day.
What did you do today? I watched movies. Which ones? Project X and something else. That's how real memorable that movie
Next morning,
was.
I watched American Pie 5 at 4 yesterday.
Yeah, it was the next day is what I remembered. So, moving off of movie news now. M. Night Shyamalan is going to make a TV show. Don't because it could be good. He does make decent movies, mostly. We're not counting The Happening.
Mostly.
Mostly, but The Happening didn't happen. But the problem is that he came out with his genius movie, which was Sixth Sense, and nothing could compare to that afterwards. He was forever ruined because of that movie, period, you know? So it's one of those, I don't know what to say to it, you know? He's doing a TV show, it could be good. It could be good.
That last part, I was playing around. What was mine?
No, so Shyamalan making a TV show. You think it'll be good or bad?
It can go either way.
See, it's one of those ones, I'm going to watch it. It couldn't be any worse than some of the crap they have on TV now.
Terra Nova.
It couldn't be any worse than Terra Nova. That show was horrible. If it was just dinosaur action running around, fine. But no, let's put family element and touchy-feely. No, I don't care. That's why that show failed.
Had some cool vehicles.
Yeah. So, Pyro groaned about this one earlier. We're going to start talking about our game news. Zynga, apparently, who makes Farmville and all those other crappy games that people play on Facebook religiously, have decided, in their infinite geniuses, to turn their social Facebook games into board games. Who doesn't want to play Farmville as a board game? I don't.
I don't.
I don't want to play Farmville. I don't want to play any of their games as board games. Because I will admit, I played Farmville at first. That was when it was fun. But then they got to the point where...
Fun.
It was fun. Then they got to the microtransaction point.
That's how they make their money.
Did you say we have a call in?
No. Do you want calls now?
No, not till we start our main topic.
Not till the main topic, please.
So, board game. Are they going to microtransaction you to death? Like you buy the game, you'll get one pawn and one set of money, but you got to buy other things to get the whole complete
No,
game?
don't remember. They also give you some of the real money stuff to buy to kind of drag you in.
Screw you, Zynga.
Because they're trying to make you spin to where you get all of the expansions.
I hate you, Dust. Shut up.
Yeah, they're probably going to release the game. It's going to be the board and little plastic pogs, and they're probably going to release
They're probably going to release the
metal
basic
things.
set with it.
and then wood things.
I'm telling you,
different
those
colors.
games are going to micro. And how are you supposed to ask your neighbors for stuff? You're supposed to go knock your neighbor's house and ask him for wool. Hey, can I get some wool so I can finish this damn game over here?
Hey, can I get a hammer and a bucket of nails so I can build a barn?
What are you playing? We're playing Farmville. Don't you play Farmville? Aren't you a Zynga whore?
No, I am not. I'm an actual.
It's almost as bad as Angry Birds.
So, yeah, they turned that into a board game. We see how well that went.
That's turned into
Our
Walkers.
last bit of game news and our last bit of Geek Week news. I love this idea. Anybody remember the Virtual Boy?
I've seen one.
It was horrible. It was like a red LED virtual Game Boy, and it sat on a tripod, and it was a fail. Well, a company has now started something called the Oculus, and it's goggles you wear, and it's a virtual reality goggles for video games. And Doom 4 is going to be the first game on it. And I'm all excited to be able to look around in Doom 4's world and get scared off my ass because that game scares me every time I play it. I can't. It's one of those things that just frightens me. They did such a good job with Doom 3, but so Doom 4, you can put on these glasses and actually walk around and shoot demons and try to live.
Nice.
Tell me how awesome that sounds.
Very.
Awesome.
Especially with all this. And Doom 4, it's freaking Doom 4. You're going to have flaming skulls coming after you and virtual.
What are they gonna do with Doom 4?
I don't know. They'll be at Mars again. Some portal of hell opens again. Same thing they do with the last 3 Dooms.
Do we care? No.
No.
It's shooting demons from hell.
And it's fun. That was one of the best game series ever.
BFG 9000.
That's our.
Though one of my favorite things about it was punching the cyber demon to death.
Yeah,
Took
God mode's the only
forever.
way to play Doom. Just run around and punch stuff. Take it down. So that's our Geek Week news. You can see pictures and video of this as on the website. And so today's topic, we're going to be talking about remakes, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I want to kick off remakes with this trailer for the remake of Tomb Raider. So do we have that trailer ready? All right. Here's a trailer. What did I say it was?
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. And when we come back, hopefully we'll
Getting
have some more
forgetful in your old age?
transportation issues ready. So let's watch the trailer.
We would really like to show you this Tomb Raider trailer, but some people on YouTube want to be haters and try to claim something the studio sent us to use, and that causes us problems in uploading videos. So instead of waiting for the dispute process to go through so we can continue to upload our weekly hour-long talk show, we just edited it out. And shame on you haters out there trying to boost your views by claiming stuff that is not yours. I will find you, and I will send you a lovely computer virus you will not be able to stop. Now back to the show.
Do we have audio?
Yes. Gremlins!
Our transportation issues are somewhat getting fixed. Now we have Mars.
You know what I just realized you don't have?
A clue?
Bucket.
Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about remakes and reboots because let's face it, they're everywhere, as evident by the Tomb Raider trailer. Total Recall just came out and epically failed.
I still kind of want to see it, just to see it.
Well, they said it looks really pretty, but it's so shallow. Just stick with the original one because it was at least fun. There was absolutely no reason for this remake. So, you either are going to love or hate a remake. And most people hate them because they have such fond memories of the original. How do you feel about remakes, Mars?
I like remakes as long as they're done well.
Now, how do you define done well?
They need to maintain the spirit of the original. So, for example, Total Recall, which I haven't seen yet, but part of the reason that people didn't like it was that there was no point and it didn't maintain any kind of spirit. It didn't feel like the original, and there was no overriding plot that made it interesting. It was an excuse to have lots of explosions and
We
cool,
like
cool special
explosions, though.
effects.
Yeah,
But,
explosions.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to go see a movie that's an excuse for special effects, awesome. That's fine. Of course, you might want to go to something like Expendables instead, maybe.
I hated that movie.
But I haven't seen it yet.
The first one
Again.
the first one?
You know what the problem with the first Expendables was?
I
You've
don't-
got all these action stars with no action. You've got action at the beginning, talk, subplot,
Little car
subplot,
chase.
and a big explosion at the end, and that was it.
The second one, hopefully they improve on that and they have explosion, bigger explosion, giant explosion, huge explosion, and then plane crash.
See, I wouldn't know. You guys keep me too busy.
I know, like the
Sorry.
transportation thing. See, he doesn't trust our transporters, so
I don't trust his transporters, and for good reason.
Yeah, it is
I
a good
came
reason.
through just fine. He came through just fine. Death came through just fine. Legend Larry came through just fine.
And the rest of them?
On standby.
Okay, back to remakes.
Yes.
See, I agree. I love remakes if they add something to it.
Yes,
It's-
that makes Perfect sense.
Like, you and remakes. They're remaking Starship Troopers. How does that make you feel? Because I love the original one.
I love the
book.
original one too.
And they're nothing alike, but I love that movie. There's so many decapitations in that movie. It's like, wow. If you make a drinking game out of it, you're going to die.
You could die of alcohol poisoning before even the first act's over.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about remakes as a general?
I generally don't watch remakes unless I hear really good things about it.
Your hair is creeping me out. I don't know what it is.
It's supposed to. I'm a mad scientist.
So, yeah.
I haven't seen the Death Race remake because I actually really enjoyed the original one.
Now, here's the thing I think about remakes, why people get so hooked up. You know, you have such fond memories of these movies as a
Starship
kid.
Troopers.
However, you look at them, they're not good. Because there was that point in filmmaking where we went to the mid-90s. Everything like 80s and 70s, they were very much products of that era that aren't enduring. Because they're products of that era. They didn't think further enough in advance like they used to, and they do now. They want to make movies that'll last, not just, oh, look, here's a next 5-minute movie, because that's all that's going to last.
Star Wars is still around and still lasts.
But that was thought about a little bit more ahead of time. That wasn't a product of its generation. Look at like Amityville Horror. I hate the original one. There's a cow in the window. It makes no sense. You were just, those
don't
people
think it's
saw the movie
supposed to.
normally high, and to them it made sense. But you look at the remake where they actually added story and character and a reason, and I love the remake. Same thing with the Hills Have Eyes. I did watch the Psycho remake. That was entirely pointless because that had nothing, because it was shot-for-shot remake. I actually paid to see that. I was an idiot, okay? I will not lie. I was an idiot to watch the remake of Psycho.
This is surprising to us. How?
Yeah, no, it's not surprising. But, you know, and you look at these movies, it'll like Clash the Titans. That was the last big one that they complained about. But look at the one from the 80s. It's so dated, it doesn't stand the test of
I had
time.
a robot owl.
Whereas the new one, the Robot Owl was a total product of the 80s. Who the freak cares?
The robot owl. That thing was awesome.
But then you get the remake, and people in 30 years can watch it and see that it's not a product of the 2000s.
That has Liam Neeson in it.
It has Qui-Gon Jinn. Liam Neeson's forever Qui-Gon Jinn. So that's the way I look at remakes, and that's the problem. People don't give them a
never
shot
said you
because
took
they
the
have
horror
such
show.
fond memories. But honestly, how many times do you watch those movies from childhood, like Fright Night and things like that? Like, what is a movie that you love that was remade, Mars? Am I asking the wrong question? Because we do keep you rather busy.
You do keep me rather busy.
I, for one, hated the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory because I'm such a Roald Dahl fan. I could not stand Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka. I could not stand that creepy tunnel where they were going through and it was all creepy and they had the random stuff like the animals having sex and the dead things rotting away. What was that? I could not stand that movie. I love the remake, bar the fact that it was made by Tim Burton, who is my genius, but it was more true to the book. And it had the better spirit, and it didn't reek of the 70s. I loved the new one. I cannot stand the old one.
You know what remake I loved? Star Trek one.
Star Trek.
That was a fantastic
Okay,
remake.
people will argue that Star Trek stood the test of time, but it really didn't. Next Generation kind of did, but the original series,
Let's
not
just
so
say
much.
this: Star Trek has gone downhill since the Next Generation. None of the series that they've had since then have been any good.
well, let's look at the movies. You had a satellite in the first one,
Okay, here's the list of all the good Star Trek movies: Wrath of Khan,
Wrath of Khan,
First Contact,
First Contact, and
Star
the new
Trek.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
three.
Because
Three.
they went back in time for whales. How stupid was that for a Star Trek movie? So yeah, rebooting
really-
Star Trek, and it made it relevant. That's what I liked. It made the characters relevant.
And it made it feel more real
Yes.
as well. The old ones felt like cheesy sci-fi movies. The new one, it looked and felt like you could step through this screen and onto the deck of the Enterprise.
Yes.
You could see all of the
and it was a really nice looking ship. I love the
beautiful,
redesign.
had
beautiful
curves and
design.
everything.
It was as gorgeous as the original, plus some of that realism, which is also beautiful in its own way. That utilitarianism.
It was also bigger than the original one by scale too.
This is true.
How do you know that?
because I've actually seen the charts and everything. But it still cannot survive against the Star Destroyer.
Very little
Probably
could
not.
survive against the Star Destroyer.
It's still like this big compared to this big.
So
The Star
as we're
Destroyer's like
talking about
this.
remakes, there's our phone number. You can call us and join in our conversation. We'd love to talk to you guys. So I want to talk about worst remakes ever. Okay? I will just kick it off with Psycho. I already told you guys that. Shot for shot remake of a movie with a twist that everybody already knew that doesn't matter today because we have so many cross-dressers as it is. I'm sure back then it was kind of shocking. Oh, it's a man in a dress. But today we walk outside and we see that. So Psycho, definitely one of the worst remakes ever. It was just one of those, huh?
Would you have liked it if it were a shot-for-shot remake right up until the twist, and then it gave you a completely brand new twist?
Well, it wouldn't have been a remake then, because it wouldn't have been Psycho. But that would have made it very interesting,
Would have made it interesting.
because Alfred Hitchcock was the one. He was a genius of his time, but they don't really stand the test of time, like The Birds. Awesome when you're a kid, then you grow up thinking, birds? They're more scary in Resident Evil. You know, that's all I have to say about that. So, yeah, I definitely think Psycho ranks up there with one of the worst remakes of all time. I see Death looking at somebody.
I can't see.
Soul finally showed up.
30 minutes late.
So, worst remakes. You had to have seen something that you just thought was horrible.
I don't know. I don't really watch much remakes.
That's right. You really don't watch a lot of anything except for crap.
I don't watch crap.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Here, let me
I
show
don't watch.
It's no.
Yeah.
You don't watch anything near as fun as Sailboat.
Sailboat's fantastic.
Sailboat's awesome.
Have you seen the new season yet?
No, don't ruin the new season for
There's
me.
a
I hate
lightning
you.
bolt.
I hate you. Sailboat's our favorite show. So remakes that you've seen that are horrible. Mars.
I had one a minute ago, and I forgot it. So for now, I'm just going to throw out Poseidon.
The Poseidon Adventure. I don't think I ever watched the original one of those.
I don't think I watched the remake.
I did watch the remake though, and I thought, okay, the ship's turning upside down. Big whoop-de-doo. That's really all I thought. I was like, really? It's just turning upside down.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point of the.
Yeah. And they gotta make it to the bottom.
Hey, bet you it was better than Titanic too.
Ah! Anything's better than that load of horse manure.
Crap. Yeah. So you'll think of some really bad ones, but what about really good ones?
Unknown whether it's going to be good or not, but upcoming. Do you guys remember Short Circuit?
Yes.
There's an upcoming remake.
I don't think he's
reboot.
looking at us like we're idiots.
And before you
Have you never seen that movie?
No.
Shh, let him finish. I want to hear this out.
Before you reject the idea of a Short Circuit remake outright, because it was a pretty darn good film to begin with, they will be, rather than having a new actress to replace, I think it was Ali Sheedy, they're just going to replace her with a kid, young boy. So it's going to be a little bit new. I believe the same actor who is the voice of the robot has been signed on. And it's the same
Robot design.
writers and should be the same robot design.
They just got to pull it out of a box. Okay, Short Circuit wasn't bad, but that's like saying, I'm going to remake Mannequin. What are they going to possibly add to that movie?
Machine guns.
Johnny Five with machine guns. We're all screwed then.
No, did he have lasers though?
He had lasers.
Yes, he had lasers.
He had one.
Infinitely better than machine guns, but they're lasers. Lasers.
I didn't even know they were remaking that movie.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it just because I really liked Short Circuit as a little
Yeah, you know
kid.
what else they're apparently remaking?
What?
The Goonies.
Why would you want to remake the Goonies?
That's one you can't touch.
Exactly.
And here's the granddaddy of them all. I have seen rumors that they're remaking Back to the Future with a Lamborghini or Ferrari.
Okay, there are some movies you cannot remake.
The Goonies and Back to the Future are on the same par with,
Star Wars.
not Star Wars, the Wizard of Oz.
I disagree.
No
'cause
one has ever touched the Wizard of Oz as a remake, and they shouldn't.
I think
Nor-
they should.
You think so?
I really would love a remake of Wizard of Oz. Because Oz is kind of a dark and scary place. It's not happy sing-along.
Yeah, good point. Either way, Hollywood has refused to touch Wizard of Oz, and I think they should refuse as well to touch Back to the Future and the Goonies.
Now, if they wanted to remake Back to the
Same-
Future 3, I'd be okay with that because that one wasn't very good. But Back to the Future 1 and 2 are so perfect as a group of movies. Why on earth would you want to go and to replace it with a Lamborghini?
Or Ferrari.
That's
or,
not even right.
or
You don't put a
some-
sports car. You put a freaking DeLorean.
But you gotta stay with them now, with the young kids.
There's
the,
no
the
purpose
DeLorean
to that remake.
still looks cool to this day.
It
How
does.
many cool kids are driving in it?
They don't. Death is so old school.
There are several cool kids riding in it, and you know why? Because they're really expensive and they're hard to buy.
Oh, Death! Don't argue with Pyro.
Sports car? Huh?
It's $50,000 to buy a brand new one.
So
And used?
I'm still just
47 grand.
Wow, I don't even know how you could name those prices off the top of your head, but okay.
I looked at the site.
Back to the Future remake? Are you
It's
kidding
It
me?
was from a couple years ago.
So someone in some studio has that ready to go. They're just waiting on a writer or something. Why would you want to do that?
I don't think no writer wants to touch it.
So yeah, other movies that you should never remake: Jaws,
Oh, you can't remake Jaws.
Star Wars 4, 5, and 6, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, you can't touch that one either.
I really don't think you can remake Jurassic Park at all.
You make 2 and 3.
Yeah, you can go remake Lost World and just forget 3.
You can remake Lost World and cut out the part with the dinosaur coming to the mainland.
That was horrible.
That
That
was
was horrible, Steven Spielberg. E.T., unremakeable. The Aliens in Alien, unremakeable. I mean, there's nothing you can add to those movies. What about you guys? What unremakeable movies do you guys think there are? Seriously, you have nothing to say?
Well, you just named them all.
Did I really? Oh, Indiana Jones needs to be added to that list as well. You can't remake
agreed.
those ones.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Flight of the Navigator?
I would like to see a remake of that one.
Think so?
I think that was another one that was very much a product of the 80s.
I haven't seen the
Like,
movie in
I also think it'd be
long
fun if they
time.
remade The Last Starfighter.
Yes.
That would be an
I
awesome
would like to
remake.
see a remake of that.
That would just be. Did you ever watch Last Starfighter?
Yeah, but it was like when I was
Am I
five.
not? Am I not? That's the where he's playing the video game and he ends up getting to the ship and has
Yeah,
to like.
Yeah.
he's playing this awful 80s arcade game, very low tech, and it turns out it's actually this training simulator program for futuristic space alien fighter pilots. And he beats the high score or whatever, and he gets whisked off into space to fight this alien war because he got like the best score ever. It was truly terrible, but it could be remade now in such a way that it's maybe a little less dated and takes itself a little less seriously in a way that's entertaining.
How would you distinguish it against Ender's Game though? If you were
Well,
to
Ender's
remake
Game is nothing like it.
Ender's Game.
It's not even close.
People would probably
The
make
Last
that comparison.
Starfighter
I
sounds like
don't
it's
know.
more like he doesn't know he's doing it. Ender's Game, he knows he's being sent to the school to go fight and learn how to command.
I did like
that
book.
and Ender never actually hopped into a fighter of any kind. The entire story is him
In a
learning.
Don't spoil it for
learning
people.
How I'm not spoiling anything. The story is about his time in battle school, learning to be a commander, how to command, and
That kid was scary
not.
smart.
He was extremely intelligent, but not at any point does he ever hop into a spaceship and fly around shooting anything.
Way to ruin all my fun. So
Your fun sucks.
Yes,
remakes and reboots are not limited to
I'm
movies.
agreeing with Pyro.
Well, one
I know.
thing before we move on to this thing, you asked me about Starship Troopers earlier.
Yes.
I am excited and worried about it because I really love the first one. I don't count the sequels.
You
except for
can't
maybe
count the
this-
sequels.
Except for maybe this upcoming one that comes out at the end of the month. Yes, at the end of this month. Which is gonna be
Okay, you have to think about that one, but not the price of the DeLorean. Where are your priorities, man?
I really want a DeLorean.
And you
But-
agreed with him. This is who you're choosing to follow now.
But yeah, I'm excited for it because hey look, it's Starship Troopers. I love that book. I love the series. But then I'm also worried about because what I've seen is the guy wants to make it closer to the source material, which I don't think can really translate into a really good movie.
Maybe if they went the route of the CG series.
Yeah, maybe the CG series, but when you read the book, it's his life in the service. It's not hey look, there's bugs here and there. We're not gonna go shooting them. There's like battle at the beginning and battle at the end. That's it.
It'll be the Expendables, but with Starship
But
Troopers.
it was actually better. It was enjoyable.
So, yes, they also extended the world of video games. They're going back and redoing a whole bunch of stuff, like Tomb Raider.
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry is getting a redone, which I don't understand that at all. The game was perfectly fine on its own.
They changed his hair.
Yeah, I don't think you have to do some sort of... Hey, Soul! Devil May Cry. What color is Dante's hair in the remake?
Black.
Black.
Was
Okay.
it in the original?
White.
All right.
I played the original.
Well, basically, there's something going on with this new trailer. They're supposed to show Dante with his regular hair.
Oh, so they're still working on it
So
apparently?
I guess he just dyes his hair in the middle of the game.
I don't really know, but this is one of those stupid things. And like, the only game I ever want to see remade would be Final Fantasy VII, and they're not doing it. How would you not bring one of the greatest games ever up, but you put stuff like Devil May Cry, which isn't that old, to a remake, Tomb Raider, which isn't that old, to a remake,
They remade Warhawk.
Warhawk. They also did Wolfenstein, which was okay, but you know, it's...
You can't beat the original little Doom interface thing.
Oh,
was a fun game.
please. Please.
It has Robot Hitler.
Why is it always robots with you? Especially Robot Hitler.
Why not? He has giant miniguns
Where does he put them?
in his arms.
How would you fit machine guns in your arms?
Well, easy. You just take out the bones and you put a barrel in there, and then you have in your chest cavity all the ammo and all the fire.
How am I
mixes.
supposed to breathe if I've got ammo in my lungs? You didn't think about that, did you?
I didn't want
You have
to.
an air tank in the back.
I think you'd probably be better without breathing.
Oh, please. So,
Can you imagine your life if you didn't have to breathe? It'd be so much easier.
video game remakes. I want to breathe. What kind of pointless video game remake do you think they could do besides Hubert?
Call of Duty remake.
Oh my!
No, you know what's really funny is I actually saw I can't remember where I saw it, but there's apparently a Kickstarter for a Call of Duty game. It's like Kings of Warfare or something, and it's like the Nazi king is fighting the Soviet king, and you got to help the American and British kings bring about the end of the space war.
I have no idea what you just said.
I have no idea what I just read.
How are they in space war if it's nations? Can anyone explain that to us?
No, the nations are the kings, and you got to help them fight.
In space?
Yeah, apparently it's in space in the future and all sorts of fun stuff like that.
Okay,
I'll have to
added
show
a
you.
new word to that whole thing.
Yeah.
Future.
Now it's in the space in the future. What else did you need to tell us about
Okay,
this game before you started talking?
Oh, there's Nazi samurais?
That sounds about as awesome, seriously, as Nazi dinosaurs.
Nazi dinosaurs would work, but
They
Nazi
actually have
samurais
that.
wouldn't because they're too racist to be
That's why
samurai.
I mentioned it. Nazi Dinosaurs is a real game.
Yeah,
Oh, what?
I forget the name of the game, but someone produced it.
I
Some
think it's
indie
actually
developer.
Nazi dinosaurs.
Is it Nazi
I
Dinosaurs?
think so. It's on Steam.
Look it up. It exists.
So what do they fight? Jewish dinosaurs?
No, there's American and British soldiers and they're fighting dinosaurs. There's like raptors and allosauruses and all
It's a
sorts.
first-person shooter, right?
Yeah.
The Nazis clone dinosaurs. You're an American soldier, and you have to fight the Nazis with their
Riding dinosaurs? They're like
Yeah.
dinosaur riders?
No,
Like dinosaur
they're
maps.
not, I don't think they're riding dinosaurs.
No?
I think the dinosaurs actually have guns and stuff on them. Like a few of them have guns. I've seen some gameplay and there's like velociraptors and.
Either way, it's
How does a
ridiculous
T-Rex
and
hail
amazing.
Hitler? I mean, how does that happen? How does it?
With great effort.
I mean, it's got like no. Hell. I mean, come on. I can't believe that wasn't even on camera. That was too freaking hilarious. Anyways.
Do it again. We'll get it on camera.
Do it again real quick. Everybody needs to see this.
Get it on Stone, please, to do it again.
I can't-
Do it. Do it
All
now.
those one-time things. Okay.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Hell, Hitler. That's how a T-Rex would have to do it. I mean, honestly, they have no arms. And you said Nazi dinosaurs. I'm thinking of dinosaurs and Nazi outfits with guns, not just dinosaurs. My mind's thinking dinosaurs dressed as Nazis with little Hitler mustaches. That's what I pictured when you said they made a game about Nazi dinosaurs. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to move off of video games now. We're going to talk about TV. Because I don't know how we're going to follow up Nazi dinosaurs, but, I'm going to go home and draw one now with a little Hitler mustache and eye patch. He's going to have like a flamethrower. Oh, wow.
You should put that on a shirt.
No, you're supposed to
We should put that on a shirt. We should totally make a Nazi dinosaur shirt and sell it.
Put the flamethrower on his tail.
Oh, yeah, flamethrower tail going on.
Machine guns for arms, laser
Oh,
beam eyes.
man, that would just be so horrible.
They didn't have to make the American version. Just
Captain America.
Oh, my God. Did you play that game with Nazi dinosaurs?
I have not, no.
I
I
haven't
have to
either.
How
find
did you
it.
find this game?
I just remember seeing it. I watched the trailer at some point. It looked awesome.
I saw some gameplay of it.
How did I not see this? How did you people not show this to me?
Or me.
You know how I like the stupidest stuff.
It's on Steam, and I kind of really want to get it just to play it.
I have a Steam account, but I never log in. I did it so we could play that 4-player Alien game, and then I stopped playing after 2 days.
Yeah, it's
What was that game called anyways?
Alien Swarm.
Yeah, that was it. Just like League of Legends. I refuse to play that game. That's all anyone talked about for the longest time. Are they still talking about it?
You just can't take a game seriously with initials LOL.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was the longest time. People were talking about LOL. I was like, what are you laughing at? Am I missing
WoW is
something?
bad enough, but LOL, online games sinking to new lows, folks.
Very new lows. So, yes, remakes and reboots,
Okay.
extended to TV.
Sherlock Holmes. They have remade that thing so many times.
Well, yeah, but apparently this
TV,
one's...
moron.
This one's
Yeah,
based off.
there's-
Yeah, it's a TV show. It's
Yeah.
got, the only reason I want to watch
Oh.
it is it has Lucy Liu in it, and I'm like obsessed with Lucy Liu. But it's a remake of a BBC show.
Yeah, there's one on BBC, which is like an hour and a half long, and there's like 3 episodes a season.
3 episodes a season? That's
It's-
not a season. That's like after school special.
But they're like an hour and a half long each.
That still puts it at just short of Lord of the Rings trilogy.
That's
British,
multiple
they're
trilogies,
Yeah, that's
Of
all it is. It's a
feature
trilogy.
length films.
So I don't understand why they decided to remake an American version. Like, I always hear BBC versions are so much better, but however, Being Human, the American version is supposed to be better.
Yeah, I tried watching the British version. I couldn't stand it.
I love the American version. Just same. I tried to watch the British version. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at all.
Because the first episode just jumps you in and you don't know what's going on.
So remakes on TV, Mars. Have you ever watched any of those? I don't know if you ever watched. Do you watch TV?
Very little.
See, I very little watch TV too.
Why
I
little?
watch everything on
No.
demand.
There's a G.I. Joe remake that they made.
Are you talking about the one on Adult Swim?
No. Well, we can talk about that one too, because that one looks kind of
Are you talking about the horrible
The
one?
horrible
on the
one.
hub?
Yes.
Where Cobra is Walmart
Yeah, Cobra is Walmart, apparently.
and G.I. Joe's the Renegades trying to bring down Walmart. That's really all it is. It's a horrible, horrible cartoon. I can't believe it. And they've remade Transformers so many times. But
Transformers Prime.
nothing.
You know what kind of makes me mad about Transformers Prime? Is that they somehow, Hasbro has decided to say, hey, Transformers Prime is in the same universe as Transformers War for Cybertron and Fall for Cybertron.
Which, it's not a bad show, and it's got great character designs, but you just can't touch G1. You just can't. Nothing will ever be as good as that one or G1 G.I. Joe, period. However, the remake of the He-Man cartoon was so much better than the one of the 80s.
What if they remade a Smurfs cartoon? Would you watch it?
It's a hit and miss.
I have to agree with that. That would have to be one of those ones you have to get like, because I don't know how that would work. Because they did it for Strawberry Shortcake and it didn't work. They did it for My Little Pony and something happened and it exploded.
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone loves My Little Pony. I don't quite get it.
What about Wings?
What?
We don't talk about those horrible American anime cartoons like Winx
Thank
and
you.
Totally Spies.
Thank
No,
you.
we don't talk about those because
I'm
they're
glad you
horrible.
don't.
And they're also remaking Sailor Moon. Why would you want to remake Sailor Moon?
Why not?
Why? It makes no
You're
sense.
asking the wrong question.
No, I'm asking the right question. Why? Why would you want to remake Sailor Moon? And so,
The only thing worse would be
Recording time.
for them to remake Reboot.
now see, I would love if they if that were
So would
rebooted up to
that
modern
be-
It
time.
could be awful
Wait.
or it could be amazing.
Would that mean that they're going to reboot?
Ha, ha, ha. That
was
was
horrible.
not funny.
That's you just spent all your bad credits for the night. But
You really
reboot,
have. Incidentally,
Ah.
the animation studio that produced Reboot is the animation studio that now produces Star Wars: The Clone Wars,
Oh, nice.
which makes them. While Star Wars: The Clone Wars is not feature film quality animation like Pixar, for example,
It's still pretty good quality.
they're by far the best on in the sort of Saturday morning half-hour cartoon niche. So for them to redo Reboot, I could see that possibly being quite good if it's done right.
I think they could do it right because Reboot was way ahead of its time. I don't care what anybody says.
It was fantastic.
It was so much fun.
I used to always race home and watch that show.
I used to always race home and watch DuckTales. That was my cartoon.
Yes.
DuckTales. That's another one of those ones you just can't touch. But I would like it if they kind of revisit.
Rescue Rangers.
Oh, screw it. None of them was good as DuckTales. Rescue Rangers was okay. Tailspin was completely pointless.
Ah, Real Monsters.
Our Monsters was good, but
That was good.
That was a great show.
they like to remake cartoons, but they've also done some shows. Like, did anyone watch the new Charlie's Angels show? Wasn't it on the air for like 2 weeks and that was it? Like, it just disappeared?
I didn't even know it was on the air. I thought they just...
Yeah, because I was watching
Not a fan
Pan
yet.
Am, and I actually liked Pan Am, and they were advertising Charlie's Angels, and I tried to watch an episode, and I couldn't get 15 minutes into it. I was like, what is this? Why am I with... What? And then they did Hawaii Five-0, which apparently is pretty good. I've never watched it because, I don't watch a lot of TV, but
The crime drama.
I'm so sick of crime dramas. They remake crime dramas all the freaking time. Like,
Would
how many...
each variation of Law and Order be classified as a remake? or
Yes, that's CSI. How many times do you need to restart CSI Law and Order?
What was that old crime drama? The one that Dick Van Dyke was in.
Who?
Dick Van Dyke?
Who?
Really?
I know, but you got to give me the guy's name.
That is his name.
The actor's name was Dick Van
Oh, I
Dyke.
thought that was the name of the show.
No.
Are you kidding me?
Somebody
That
go
was
get the
his real
insolence bucket!
name. His real name was Dick Van Dyke, and I just thought it was the name of the show.
I believe that was his real name. Either way,
Whose real name is Dick Van Dyke? Those parents must have hated him.
I could be wrong. May have to look it up. But was a crime show very unlike modern crime dramas where it's all about the technology and the forensics. It was... I haven't watched it in a while. It was a disheveled just detective who outsmarted the bad guys through wits. And the villains were the ones using technology to try to outsmart our disheveled detective in a dumpy car.
No insolence bucket.
No! Yes!
Do it!
Fine. Ow! My hand. Okay, keep talking.
But the hero always outsmarted the villain who was using the technology. It was a battle of wits, and he always, of course, won in the end. But very different. I was reading something about it recently, suggesting that it might be cool to reboot it.
All right, I'm going to interrupt here real quick.
Why does it smell like canned ham in here?
Oh, sorry.
All right. I was
Okay,
going to say one thing.
seriously?
It felt really good putting that on somebody else for a change.
We need to get some disinfectant in there. It smells like something died.
Don't get used to it.
Smells like normal.
I'll let you get away. That is not a normal smell. Smart, smell that and tell me if that is normal.
I'm good, thank
No,
you.
smell that. Smell that.
Well, I wear
Smell
this
that.
like every day.
Soul, come here. Where's Soul? Soul, come here. You got to smell the dead ham.
There wasn't even ham in that bucket
So,
when I found
yes,
it.
crime dramas. I'm so sick of them. They need to stop making crime dramas, period.
Well, they need to try something new.
Well, I think they are. They've got that new show where he's like, he sees things. They've got the one where they're psychics. This thing seriously smells like freaking dead ham. What is wrong with you?
Well, I acquired it from a deli.
I ain't that far away from me. That thing stunk to high heaven.
But we haven't washed it out in a while, and
Smells
yeah.
alright.
Dad, you don't have any nose. How can you say it smells? Oh God.
I'm using my
Smells
human
perfectly fine
nose,
to me.
apparently.
Anyways, so yeah, TV and remakes. I think that they're fine, but I'm waiting for them. Didn't they remake Knight Rider? Did anybody watch that
Yes,
show?
They did remake it.
I think they tried
I think it
to.
was
They
bad.
put out a pilot, and it was very, very bad. They were going to attempt to reboot the series, and it fell through for obvious
It was
reasons.
like a racehorse standing in the gate, and when the gate opened, it just fell asleep.
Because they did Battlestar Galactica justice. They did V justice. I love the
Not
remake
only
of V.
not only did they do Battlestar Galactica justice, they took as we were talking about earlier, one of those bad, very
80s.
very 80s things, and they made it enduring.
They even incorporated some of the elements from the 80s that were awesome, and just made like,
Yeah.
hey, look, that's what it's from.
Okay, what about Gundam?
Gundam's a cartoon they remake all the time, but it's not really a remake. It's different stories, kind of like they do with Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is not remaked every time. It's different complete stories, different complete worlds with certain things that tie. Like there's always Chocobo, there's always someone called Sid. You know, you always have summons. But Gundam's one of those things that it's remade and retold just entirely differently. I confuse myself saying
You know what I kind of want to see a remake of?
what?
Space Battleship Yamato anime.
We tried to watch that live action movie and we were so bored. We didn't finish watching it.
I need to finish watching it, just to finish watching it.
I think I deleted it.
I think I still have it on the computer.
I maintain that I still want to see a gritty live-action PG-13 Carmen Sandiego.
That would be fantastic.
It would be good,
That
right?
would be a great movie. That would be, and I think Soul said he told me yesterday they're going to remake Death Note, the series. Why would you want to remake that? I mean, season 1 was so perfect. Season 2 could use some help, but you just ignore that and watch the 2 live-action movies, which are brilliant. I love those freaking movies, but Death Note's one of my favorite anime series. Why would you want to remake that? There's no need to remake it.
No, there isn't.
There isn't. See, even Death agrees with me, oddly enough.
Hey, I like Death Note, so
Of course you love Death Note. It's about dying.
yes, and also I've been also hearing that they're going to probably be making or doing something with Code Geass, maybe.
Maybe. So,
Code Geass?
it's another anime. There's so many weird animes. Like, I like
Wasn't
the...
Code Geass the one that was on Cartoon Network or something that was weird?
Probably.
Yes, there was one where the guy had got a Geass with mind control.
He doesn't... Pyro doesn't watch a lot of anime, Death. You're just talking to a wall.
Redline was fantastic, though.
Redline was good, but I love the remake of Evangelion because they did it justice. But I don't know how you would do justice to Death Note trying to remake it. It makes no sense. Because I got you watching the first series, didn't I?
You got me watching the first series, but we never finished it. And you got me watching the movie, and I really want to see the second one.
Which, I lent the movie to someone and I got to get it back. He hasn't watched it yet. But
I've seen the first one. But
we've
not
been
the
so
second one.
busy.
I had the first two seasons.
So, yeah, that's our remake and reboot talk. I think we had a lot of things to
Yeah,
discuss.
that's a good show.
And that thing smells like freaking dead ham. You need to wash that out when we get back. Put some freaking car fresheners in that or something. Make it smell like a pine tree like everybody else would make it do. Put damn little pine trees. Hang in that insulin bucket so when we have to put it on, we don't have to smell dead Spam. Seriously. How hard would that be to do?
Very.
So,
I can see the little.
we want to invite you to come be in our studio audience. You can go right there. It's diabolicalleague.com/DLOA.
We have the Invisible Man over there
DLOA
right now.
events. You can see all of our shows for the rest all the way up to October, and you can book wherever you want. Space is limited. Because next week, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a versus battle. We're going to have a giant robot showdown. We're going to pit our favorite giant robots against each other, and hopefully we'll have some of our friends on the phone from MetCore to join in the conversation with us.
Bet I can't pee down here.
Yeah, they're in another city, so and
They're
we're
even on the
also
move.
planning a History of Battletech show where we're actually going to go out and play and do the History of Battletech with them again like we did that one time. That was
fun one.
so much fun.
Trash can robots.
Yeah. So next week is Giant Robot Showdown where we're going to pit robots against each other. So make sure you pay attention, call in, voice in. I'll tell you, like right now, it's going to be Ultraman versus Mechagodzilla, Megas XLR versus Gurren Lagann, things like that. It's going to be really fun. And we're going to see who would argue about who would come out on top. Did you just look at your arm? Do you have freckles? Pyro
I
has
do.
so many freckles. I think he has a disease. Look at that.
That's disgusting.
It is
All right.
disgusting, right? He's got like nothing but freckles
I
on his
tried
arm.
cutting my arm off and just grew back.
And they're big, like liver spots.
Are you covered in liver spots?
No, because I've had these all my life.
So you've had liver spots your whole life. You've been an old man for your whole life?
Oh God.
Dear God, man. I
Look
don't
at
quite understand that. I don't get it at all.
You can see where I burn myself every now and then.
We don't want to know why he burned himself. So, what do we have coming up? Giant robot next week. I think. I'm drawing a blank.
I'm drawing a blank.
Hear that? He thinks.
Oh my God!
So that's where there's steam coming out.
Shut up, Death. Don't
That poor
encourage this.
gerbil in your head. It must be dead by now. It doesn't get any
It's
exercise.
been running on that damn little wheel.
But the gerbil never runs. It gets no exercise. It just eats all day. So it's probably really fat. Probably having a heart attack in your head right now. You just killed a gerbil.
So that's why this list is shown in his head.
Bravo for me and my gerbil killing abilities.
Explains the blank stare he's always got.
Yeah, I guess so.
I do get these blank stares. So we also
What are you
made-
thinking about? Nothing.
Yeah, I can think about absolutely nothing. How many people ask you that? What are you thinking about? I'm literally thinking about nothing. No, don't lie. You gotta no, I'm literally thinking about nothing. We did make an awesome giant robot video for next week
Yes.
dedicated to MetCore, so you don't want to miss it. We have something coming out soon.
Your debate?
No, that's in September. We're doing the big debate, another fun thing. There was something else. I totally forgot what it was. Why am I drawing a blank? It's going to be one of those things
Why
like...
do you draw lips on here?
Oh, because I drew a pancake beauty queen. Yeah, I drew a pancake beauty queen sashaying with a fork and a spoon saying, wow, she looks really delicious. These are things I do when I'm bored, people. I doodle.
You know
that's
what I
why
do when I'm
there's
bored?
lips on there. We don't want to know what happens in your lab when you're bored. Actually, I'm pretty sure Mars would like to know what you do in your lab when you're bored.
I would really not.
He has the one that has to go
I'm all right.
fix it.
That video was obviously photoshopped.
No. That video was Jenny busted you riding that green stupid thing, and we all heard you go,
That
"Woohoo!"
video was obviously photoshopped.
Which, that video is on our website. You can go see it's on the front page because it'll be up for the rest of the week till we
It's
do
a
the giant
stick
robot video.
figure.
No.
And my face just put on it.
Anyone voting that wasn't photoshopped, raise your hand. Death, votes with me. Mars never votes. Oh, yay, Mars is on my side, finally. That was you.
It's very clearly you, dude. I'm sorry.
It was
I'm
very
not
clearly
that
you
skinny.
wearing a hat, riding a giant green German mim.
Okay, remember when you time traveled? Yeah, there's the camera. Ha!
Time travels. That wasn't time. That was you riding around some weird animal, which I want to ride on one of those. It looked really fun.
I don't even know where to make one of those.
You did make it. You found it.
Yeah,
I don't know where to
something
find
tells
one of
me
those.
We're going to have Nazi dinosaurs running around for the next week. Thank
Hey.
you, Mars, and ahead for that one.
Just look on your history books. You'll find it there.
So, we are about out of time.
No, we're not. We have another hour to go.
No, we don't. You're on some sort of
It's
weird
on
time.
0000.
I think that's the bomb we have to set off before we leave. That's
Why would we set off a bomb in our own studio?
This isn't our studio. We
use
just come and kind of
There's
hijack
a
it.
ladder.
Where's the ladder go?
I don't know.
Anyways,
It probably
so
squeaks.
thanks for joining us in our talk about remakes. I was looking at Death and I forgot what I was saying again. Man, it's been one of those days. Well,
always
it's
one
been a
of
day
those
for
days.
Mars too. He's been yawning over there. You've got some really sharp teeth. Are you aware of that?
Oh, and you only have 60 seconds left.
Nah.
So we're on our final countdown. Join us next week. Come see us live in person.
Oh, there's a crate of bunnies in the
I don't want to know why there's creative bunnies.
In the
Next week,
supply
Giant
box
Robot
for you.
Showdown.
Thank you.
Get ready to vote for who you want to see win.
Not yet.
I can tell.
I'm gonna go Mechagodzilla all the way.
Mechagodzilla's not in every category. And hopefully the MechCore guys will be on. They're awesome. You're going to love them.
Why is Mechagodzilla in every category?
They don't have music out, so keep talking.
Are you signing to me, Death? You know I'm getting confused today. Mars is tired. Pyro's been the only one on like a sugar high. We've all just been like, It's definitely gonna go.
Animal Crackers!